Okay. Yeah, my intentions for the call is like get some discussion around the topics on the agenda. Yeah, I'm very excited for what you have to show, Aman. And I do not have any distraction. I'll pass it to Ivy.
Thanks, Zep. Yeah, my intention is to catch up with you on all of these topics. And yeah, if we still have time to touch on the transparency audit, I hope we can get some feedback from Eduardo and Aman and whoever is gonna join this call. So yeah, distractions. I just still have a lot of things to do today and getting late here, so I'm kind of panicking already. So yeah, I pass it to you, Aman.
So my intentions are mainly to learn what you guys last week. Sections are mainly, college and some other stuff. Pass it to Eduardo now. Maybe he has some.
Thank you, man. Hello, everyone. I intentions. Just to talk about a little bit of the of a contribution from Gideon, who he made a newcomers audit of the Discord. So I don't know. I think that's someone worth sharing here. And distractions, none. That I'm waiting for my food. Besides that, nothing else. Back to you, Septim.
Yeah, thanks, Edu. Yeah, so there are many points. Like I just wanted to share some data regarding. Yeah, we're also doing revisiting the audit with Ivy, and yeah, this is our mainly update to Ivy. Like we will be using Dune Analytics, and we can talk to Fabio to help us to set it up. So what that would help us is like it would like it's like a platform that get all the graphs and all the data from the blockchain, so it will help us like to report the audit, and that's a thing like Fabio can just do, and then when it's done it's automatically getting update. So it's very nice because we'll be bothering him all the time, but only once, and when he got it done, then the the charts update themselves with the data provided on the blockchain, so it's cool. And then yeah, I also wanted to update on the treasury management. We started a discussion with mainly with Tam and Mitch, Juan, Chuy and Livy and Griff also show up. And we will have another call tomorrow regarding that. If you guys want to join, it would be very nice. And it's on the calendar. Let me. And then the document we were working on, it's also, you should go on, maybe we have it on here. Yeah. It's the call is tomorrow at this same hour. So yeah, it would be nice if many of you could join. And yeah, basically we're discussing like for the first buy-in, and we are between these three more or less. Yeah, we are discussing like the processes and how are we going to hold like how are we going to hold the funds and how we keep accountable to the community, and yeah, all these processes. So the more people engaging, the best. So yeah, if you are interested in the topic, please join tomorrow. And yeah, that's for it. Then listing on CoinGecko is getting hard. Like I was on a call with Tam today, and she was telling me like, yeah, but what they are telling you here is like you need to get listed on an exchange, and probably we are going to end up with a transferable token, so it shouldn't be a big deal. But I'm a bit concerned about like what if other commons just not get listed because they decide like not to get their token transferable and they only interact with the bonding curve. Like I feel we should somehow do something like to facilitate CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, whatever of these platforms, to list our token with just an API from the bonding curve. Like, the price is there, but yeah, I mean, from their point of view, they might be busy, and I know, like, we shouldn't be asking them like how to solve it, but rather solve it ourselves. And yeah, probably the update on this issue is like, okay, we need to get our token transferable, otherwise CoinGecko is not going to list our token for the moment, at least. Like, we really, and it's going to be easy because Honeswap actually is on their, CoinGecko accepts Honeswap, so we just add liquidity there and price discovery, and then we can just list it. It wouldn't be a long thing. And yeah, those some of the ideas I wanted to share. And then, anyone wants to comment on any of those three? Yeah, I'm talking a lot.
No, not okay. Regarding the listing, for me, it's interesting what is the chain of thoughts that leads to decide the listing part. Like, is this a consensus coming from Transparency Working Group? Is this, I'm not saying this to create a process for listing. I'm just saying to sort of what information goes along the listing. Do you think about also a strategy with comms about, okay, once it's listed, what are we going to tell about it to the people? Like, I think the things that are externalizing the organization should have a thoughtful kind of insight of what are the aspects should be considered when you are doing whatever it is. Could be listing, could be outreach, whatever it is outside the organization, and it's like, and you will sort of take the brand to somewhere else. How it will like benefit impact, and I think, I don't know if it's a working group decision. I don't know. Like, that would be nice to have just a little conversation about how these things will proceed. You know.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, regarding the listing of CoinGecko, it's Chu started working on it, and I made myself in with him, so we are co-working on this. And yeah, basically, like, getting our token listing help our transparency of our price. So everyone can just go and check CoinGecko. How's TC doing this week, or this day, or at this moment?
Correct.
And yeah, it really gives transparency around our token, and it's not. And when it's being if someone is selling a lot or buying a lot and manipulating the price, we will see it there. Otherwise, if it's on the bonding curve on our interface, it's not something like everyone checks daily or something. But if it's on CoinGecko, it's just like, oh, like, at least I have this daily routine. I wake up, I check the market, and I know a lot of people don't do that, but it's also all transparency actually, and also our communications. So, and regarding the process, yeah, go ahead.
No. Finish your thoughts. Sorry.
And and regarding the process, I feel, I really feel like people should get the autonomy to do stuff, and I mean, at least trusted people, let's say, because otherwise it would slow down us a lot. Like, if we need, to do something like this, if we need to coordinate,
Yeah.
like, if we had add more processes, it would be more bureaucrat, and yeah, it just slow us down. But what's just pass it to you.
Can I say?
Yeah, I don't. Sorry, I don't think there is a need for micromanagement. I just think that it will be nice to understand who has this capacity to do so. Like, imagine, for example, we get listed in CoinGecko, and then some of the someone from the TEC or someone external from the TEC makes an analysis of the coin or share that we are listed, and then what information is provided there? Like, are we ready to sort of provide information about the token, about our processes, like for a public that is not necessarily us, but someone external? So for me, it's about everyone can do and have autonomy to do things, but that should come along empathy towards not having tunnel vision when you do something. but also look outside and thinking, okay, how someone else can benefit from it, or how this thing that I'm doing, this process that I'm doing, is aligned and could be aligned with other things, or could be improved, or you know what I mean. Like, as much as I think that a lot of initiatives are really positive, there is always this, if we don't think, I don't know, I feel that since we are at the beginning of a process, we should be really like clear, like the typical, no, having a issue in GitHub for this listing CoinGecko. I don't know. There are some things that, yeah, it's just a scramble. Paraphrasing, I'm sorry for this. Pass it to you, Ivy.
Yeah, I kind of agree with what Eduardo is saying, but I think right now, in this stage, I think Zepti and Trey are still only trying to check the possibility of getting our token listed on CoinGecko, but I don't think there has been a decision made yet of listing that one. I think right now at this stage, Zep is still trying to research on that, what could be the requirements in getting listed, if it's possible to get listed, what are the qualifications. So it's good that Eduardo raised this concern. I think once we have gathered all the information on getting listed on CoinGecko, I think the next step should be presenting this possibility to the community. And yeah, I think I actually don't know what could be, if there could be risks in getting us in getting listed on CoinGecko, but I think it's good to look into that as well, like check the pros and cons of getting listed on CoinGecko, analyze the risks if there are any, before deciding to getting listed on Coin. I don't know if there are risks, but yeah, if there
Yeah.
are, I think it should be presented to the community before deciding on getting listed.
Yeah, I think the risks are very low. It's about being prepared. So the things that get externalized have the right and proper documentation and the right proper information to be shared in the correct way. It's not just another listing. It's also the work for a year being put it publicly, being listed publicly. So it means they need a description, they need information, they need resources. Do we have that? And I think this research part that Septimus is doing, it's the best way to do it. Like I don't think there is other way. We need to know how we can list it if it is possible, and I think that's correct. I don't think what you're doing is wrong at all. What I'm thinking is just like how we can improve the process, so we can take advantage of this research that you are doing and coordinate with other working groups if it is needed. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, mostly like this on CoinGecko, it's very specific data. It's not like something, it's like the price, the token supply, like the parameterization of our token. Like it's pretty detailed. So it's pretty hard to mess up unless you put wrong numbers. But if you follow the parameters we have, and actually CoinGecko will ask for those, otherwise they will not list your token. And yeah, it's I mean, we are not going to talk about our cultural bill or anything regarding that on this issue. It's just the price of the token, the price it got 24 hours ago, like the price since it got released. Like, yeah, this chart it's just this. And I also think right now it's because we still do not have a commons, but when we do in the future, it's going to be easier to know what the community approve and what not. For example, like if we want to do the CoinGecko listing, like people will ask for money for doing that, or also in other works, and in the detail it will be added on the proposal. So people will be voting on that, and I feel like this is the way like community give you approbation. But we could also, I mean, if we feel we need to go on advice process, I feel it should be a sentiment from the people who's taking it on, because if they got the funds to do it, because they say, okay, I'm going to do this, and community is trusting on him to do it. Yeah, we should let them do in order to get them. At the same time, if they feel they need some kind of support or they are struggling and they need some advice process, they can ask for it. And we have to remember, like, we also will have CLS, so if something is not following our mission, vision, and values, it can get disputed, if that's a correct word. And yeah, I feel like this will help a lot of our processes when we have a real DAO, because right now it's like people is just doing it, and some people is getting paid by common stocks or whatever, and yeah, it's kind of in two sides. So I feel that's why it's not getting. But in the moment we get the DAO, and the DAO will fund whatever the DAO wants to do, and everyone will be voting on on those aspects.
Yeah,
But
this is that is a future kind of basis assumption. I think this part of this process, that these processes and this kind of awareness, that's the word, awareness about how we externalize something from the organization should be always present. It's not about advice process or micromanagement. I feel it's just have awareness of these things when we do them, in a way that whenever we arrive to the commons point, or when we become a commons, all these things happens, we sort of have these things in mind in our internal culture. So, for newcomers and so on. Anyways, sorry, this my feedback took too long. So
it's good. It's good. Do you think if we create a best practices when sharing PCO side, something like something in those
yeah,
lines,
yeah, exactly.
like get best practices document, and
Yeah,
maybe it could be on the Git book.
I agree.
Yeah, we could do something like that. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, then Aman, do you want to share some of the research you were doing on other DAOs regarding their transparency?
Yeah, sure. I can for some time. See, I haven't written a proper report yet, but maybe I could just explain my thought process for the moment. Because I didn't know what kind of format or where I would have to submit. So I just talked for now. I'm hoping that would be okay.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. So, okay. Yeah, I looked at TC, Deep DAO, DXDAO, Uniswap, etc. So not a lot of DAOs, but the DAOs I looked at are kind of very different in character and the amount of information and the members that are there. Because Uniswap, it's a very big thing. And DXDAO also has a lot of AUM, but it's more like a closed environment, which I personally felt. And it's a pretty new DAO. I don't think they're a DAO yet, but they're a very new project, and the number of people and the number of information, amount of information flowing is very low. And TEC, of course, we are also in our starting stages. So yeah, not a lot of data points, but still there is variety in the kind of places that I looked at. So yeah, um, the first thing I need to share with you guys is when Septimus or Lily, I don't remember who it was, asked me to write a report on transparency by looking at our other DAOs. I thought that transparency would be about the ease at which information or basically information is available to people inside a DAO. And mainly by people, we mean beginners, because people who have been contributing for some time to a DAO know where to find information from. So initially, I thought transparency would be about how these new contributors and the people who newly onboarded gets how easily they to find information. It is also about how that information is presented, because I feel like a lot of stuff presented might not be in an understandable or easily digestible fashion for a newly onboarded person to understand. So even making it available for them might not, make it so transparent, which is something I feel about. So in the analysis of transparency, I think there are mainly three variables. First one is the kind of person we are talking about, whether he's a beginner that he just entered the DAO or the Discord. Secondly, he's a non-beginner. He might be have been contributing for some time. And the next variable, according to me, would be the amount of information. For example, in Uniswap has a lot of information flying around, a lot of proposals, a lot of voting governance decisions. But a place like TEC has a lesser number of information, and something like DXDAO has stays somewhere in the middle. And the third variable, like I told you, is the method in which the documentation or the things are presented. So, what I feel after looking at these DAOs is, if a DAO needs to be truly transparent, it should be in such a way that a beginner who just joined a DAO, whether it is a DAO with a lot of information or less of information, he should be able to understand the information and he should be able to easily understand the documentation. Because if this condition is satisfied, I'm sure that uh, non-beginner will be able to understand, and all other conditions will be satisfied. So basically, according to me, uh, the real gist of transparency, or to really boost transparency, we'll need to focus on onboarding, on showing new people where information is, and taking care in which in the way we are presenting that information to the new people. So let me just give you an example of two ways in which TEC can be better in this sense. The first thing I need to note is that TEC already has a pretty awesome onboarding funnel, because I've been part of DXDAO, I've been part of some other DAOs, and the onboarding funnel is not very good. Uh, Especially DXDAO, I felt it was very constricted and it was really hard for a new contributor to join it. But we host community calls, I mean, not orientation calls every week, and answer doubts and everything. So I think the onboarding funnel is awesome. Maybe if I need to add something to that, I would suggest that in that orientation call, if some of the steward could demonstrate how to add the meeting schedule of the TEC to everybody's calendar, that would be great. Because I had some trouble in that, and I missed some meetings which I really wanted to attend. And I still, I don't know, could not figure out how to add it to my Google Calendar. I don't know why that is. It seems like a really basic thing to do, but yeah, if I could show that in the orientation, that'll be. And the second thing I want to say is this: there was this report on some CTT learning module. I was reading through that and I made some edits to it, and in that there were some links were provided. In our TEC forum about what conviction voting is, what token thaw is, what augmented bonding curve is, and all those stuff, right? So uh, I believe that this is the place where TEC, the person who wrote that forum or that post, expects other contributors to go to and read the stuff and understand, what these technical things are. And what I feel is, they are good, but what I feel is, really complex figuring of and understanding it is also a skill, and not everybody might have it. Uh, uh, I don't want to sound boastful, but I feel like I can deconstruct sentences, spending some time, but even I am a little slow in that. I might have to read it two or three more times. So one thing I would suggest here is that whenever we write a complicated stuff in the forum, like it could be conviction voting, it could be token to, I would suggest that we provide an example whatever is happening at the end. For example, there is a really long and it is a very inclusive article about conviction voting, and there is a lot of stuff like that. So at the end, we could say, for example, we are having this proposal to decide on this, and suppose there are five people in the DAO. A votes on this, B votes on this, and finally, if this happens, this might be the outcome. That will be hardly 5 or 6 sentences, but the end, it will help a non-technical person or a beginner to connect better to concept. Similar is the case with token or augmented bonding curve, etc. We could make it more visual, or we could draw a few, use case. I mean, what do you say? Example cases, so that they have an example in front of their eyes, and they can read whatever theoretical thing they just read in that forum and connect with it. So, out of the three variables I described, I think understandable documentation could be achieved maybe a lot more by exemplifying at the end of every uh, you know at the end of every complicated thing. So that is one thing I would like to add. And secondly, all the DAOs I looked at had a forum for discussion. They had some sort of a voting mechanism, and they also had Discord channels. But in places like DXDAO and stuff like that, only the people who are really into the um, working groups and stuff like that attended the meetings and voted on stuff or really knew what was going on. And one of the main reasons for that is I don't think a part-time contributor or just a person who just stays there in the DAO really checks the forums. So I think if we could somehow boost discussions on whatever is going on in forums in Discord, I think that I do know that that will be all over the place and it will be very fussy. But maybe if we could figure out a way to do that properly, or we could just discuss the things that are going on at the moment, or create separate channels for just discussing topics in forum. I think that would be great to onboard or get the attention of the new contributors. So that are two things which I would like to suggest. And lastly, I was talking to the CEO of DeepDAO, and I asked him, a lot of information is going on, and as DAOs grow, the amount of attention that you'll need from people to vote or to have their opinion on stuff will be huge, because we'll have to make a lot of decision on as DAOs grow. And I asked him, how do you think DAOs will be able to do that? And he told me he was looking at gamification options on how information is presented to people. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. Probably you have, because you are in this space. I'll just share my screen for some time. I hope this is visible. Is my screen visible?
Loading for me now.
Okay. Is it loading?
Yeah,
Has it come yet?
I see it. I see it now.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, you probably have heard of Atlantis World. They are, it's a pretty cool site. Oh shit! Should I show my? I think with my yeah. See, I don't know. There is this demo that we have created, and I think this will be really good for onboarding new people. We could create virtual scenarios like this. For example, this person can go inside this go and see what is happening, or he could go inside this place and see what is happening here. So in a team scenario, I think we can create separate buildings, each working groups, and he can walk inside the buildings and see what are the things going on and what each people are working on. It might be a better visual presentation of things, like Aloysius pointed out in one of those meetings. I have some hope in these gamification scenarios, especially if we can integrate Discord with stuff like that. I think they will boost transparency to a bigger extent. So maybe in some time we could talk to the people at Atlantis World and see if it will be useful in the TC scenario. Yeah, these are the things which I mainly had in my mind to share. So please give me.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks. Yeah, first of all, let's fix your calendar. Like, can you share your screen and go to the forum? Let's fix your calendar. That's the first thing we should do, and we can do it right now.
Oh, okay. Wait, I'll
I agree with the calendar fixing. It's these kind of things that we have assumed everyone understand, but it doesn't mean it's like that. For example, the little button of adding the calendar to your to yours, the plus button that is at the end of the Google Calendar that is linked everywhere. That little bottom is almost invisible. Right? People never is able to
This
pick it
one,
up.
I actually pressed this, but I am not still getting notification. That's the problem. You mean this one, right?
Oh no, but you just go to your calendar now. If you added it, just go to your calendar. Like the
Yeah,
link is like
yeah.
calendar.google.com.
Yeah. So you're
And
not getting
yeah,
notifications for any of this.
No, I'm not. And my notifications are on actually. I mean, I think, but obviously something is wrong.
That's about your personal settings because this you are not pressing attending or they don't have the option to attending. So if you do not click on attending, you're just viewing the calendar. You are not part of it. Like you're not integrated with that. So you can either, I think, add it to your own, for example, that one. Yeah, since you're not there as attending, you will never get a notification. Go click in the 3 points on top next to the X there. Yes, copy to a dumb dip,
Okay.
and there
Oh,
you should get the notifications.
okay, it's fine. So these blue ones are the ones I'm attending.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yes. So yeah, that is a mistake. It sounds so trivial, but yeah, I looked at it for a couple of times, but cool.
Yeah, it's
Thank you.
tricky. I don't know if Septimus, if you know any other way to receive notifications from the Google Calendar setting.
No, I actually do not get notifications normally. I just wake up, look at my calendar, and I just made in my mind, okay, I have to be there at that time, and yeah. But yeah,
If
thanks, Edu.
I
Yeah, thank you.
will, I will let you know because there is another way, but I will take a look at it and then get back to you and how to do it properly from the same calendar settings.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to
Yeah.
the.
No, but then you also talked about adding examples on the forum post, and I didn't understood. Would you will to do those, or because right now it's mostly Mitch taking care of those, and
Mhm.
he could use some help probably. And actually, I know like Params wanna get some help on the CDD process.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I didn't understand do you think it's just those suggestions you're making, like, so I'll give it to Mitch on the next params calls or the params crew, or you will to be there and do it yourself?
I can do it myself, but yeah, I don't have any problem. But yeah,
Okay, so
maybe we could make it a common practice among whoever is posting. If he feels like it is some technical thing, he can add an example at the end, so that we have this, I don't know, format of posting stuff. If that is something everybody thinks we should do, we could also do that.
yeah, I think like the best way to get engaged with params, if you can't attend like this call tomorrow at 5 p.m., I could tell them like you're interested in help, and then they do this huge hack session on Sundays. Like they are there like for 5 hours. It's pretty chill. Like they're just hacking, and everyone is hacking at their things, and they're. For example, you're hacking on the bonding curve, and you're adding examples, but you for some reason don't understand something, and you're like, hey, whatever, Griff, do you understand this, or Mitch, or Victor, like all these param hackers.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is the best way to engage. But yeah, tomorrow call. If you are able to join, that'd be so cool. And if not, I can just tell Mitch like you're interested and share with him the feedback.
Yeah, I'll try to attend. So,
Okay, that'd be super cool.
But
Uh,
I do think that what he said, what Aman said about having this also as good practice. Well, yeah, we do I mean, yeah, when there is the param stuff, we did share on Twitter, and there were params parties where we sort of explained the parameters to everyone in a call, but it was chill, and everyone will like debate which params was better, which params were not. Um, so I'm thinking about this kind of good practices and how to prolong it. But that's more of a community task working group kind of job
uh,
that we can think about later. But yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, I think Also, we already had that feedback in our previous proposals when we did the premise for the hatch. I think we got some feedback that it would be great to have this example of possible scenarios if this on certain parameters. So it would be great to have them as well for the comments of. Yeah, and let me just add before we go further with Aman's comments. I just want to add about the adding the TC calendar. I think we can also have this. We can actually have a short video tutorial of adding the TC calendar to their personal calendars. I think it would be a great help to all community members because I've had some people also reaching out to me and asking for the TC calendar link. And yeah, I think it would be great to have a short video tutorial on YouTube, and we can share it with the new members. I think it would help them a lot.
We can just put it on the orientation channel or something, by recording a video and keep.
Yeah, I agree. I think it could be added to. We are thinking of having about the TEC kind of submenu on the left on the Discord, so that could be part of that, like or in orientation or enjoying here, like just this video that people can click if they want to sort of add their link, add their calendar to their calendar.
So you're taking care of it on Communitas, Edu?
Yes, we will.
Awesome. Okay. Then it was more points. What was the other point I had in my mind?
I think we're on to Gideon's contribution that Eduardo wants to talk about.
But there was something else I wanted to. Okay, yeah. If it comes back, I'll. Yeah. In regards of time, we should keep moving. And yeah, maybe you explain about the Gideon's contribution.
Yeah, two things. The first one is I don't know if you have seen Bankless Analytic Guild report on community growth. It's a thread they share on Twitter, and it's a spreadsheet. I will share it on Transparency. It's quite an interesting document. Basically, they explain. I will share my screen because then it will be better. I'm not talking nonsense here. Give me a moment. Here. Let me know when you can see my screen.
I say no.
Okay, so they have this analytics. Like this is our normal, like membership growth. The interesting ones is this: how many new members successfully activate on their first day? How many new members retain the next week? Like how many of the people who join they return or not? And how many members visited and communicated? Like how much interactions was there? Message activity. So these three, how many members visited and communicated, and how many new members retain the next week? It's highly interesting for me on this, and then they further explain other stuff. But this stuff for me is really relevant in the sense of understanding how well we are doing. It's almost like an audit, but for Discord, and how well we are communicating, how well we are integrating the community into us, and how many people return after they appear in the server. So I reached them out and I asked them out how they did it, and they basically told me that they used all the data that is available in Discord. Like they had access to the API and they pull out all this data from there. Like they didn't have to do anything else. So it would be interesting to see how this is possible. And I feel this falls into transparency more than any other working group. But this will be really useful for communities in the sense of seeing how we can improve things. For example, if we take a look at message activity and voice activity, if we see that we have more voice activity than message activity, it means that people are not interacting in between them. They're only coming to calls, you know? So these kind of things are quite useful, I feel. I don't know who have access to the API. Hence the reason why I bring this up in this call. This is not for this week or the next one. This is more for once we have the onboarding journey sort of sorted out. But this is something that we could have in the loop. So yeah, I want to hear your feedback about it.
Yeah, this is awesome. Like I think all this stuff like could also go on the like where okay, the next one on the agenda is also like improving the audit and let me share is this document? Yeah, me and Ivy are working like making a big audit, and we could include like Discord activity, forum activity, and the intention is to do it like every 3 months, and
Yeah.
I think this is super cool, Edu, and I think transparency should show all this data to the people. What I do not know is like how to pull out this data, but I guess like admins got the power to
Yeah.
see it, right? So
Yeah, she told me that if you have access to the API, that's information that exists because Discord already have it. I just don't know where to get it. So that's why I bring this information up because I will be highly interested on. There are things that they do not add here. For example, I will be interested in which is the channel that gets more information, in which channel we get more data, which one people click the most but they don't stay. All this information should be available, and I think that could be really interesting for everyone to like sort of have this visibility. Because the forum is quite easy. You just change if you go to every forum, they have the accountant of views, you have the accountant, the amount of views, the amount of messages. So the forum is quite an easy one because everyone can do it. Like you can delegate this pulling out the data from the forum to almost anyone. The same goes for Telegram because it's public how many people and so on. But this one is more tricky because it's a private information hold on the server. So yeah, that's it. That's on one side. I don't know if someone wants to comment on this before I move on to the next part of the audit.
I just wanna like just to make it clarify, like we would like on this report get all the data from Discord forum. Do we use another other platform like we would like to share data regards of Discord forum?
Yeah, but the one that takes the most time and effort is the Discord one. Because not everyone have access to it. Whether forum and Telegram could be, or Twitter. Twitter it's already done.
Yeah.
So I think it's just like sort of delegating. You can open this for contributors. We just lay out what do we need. We need which was the most talked forum, most talked post in the forum. Which is the person who engaged the most? Whatever. This, if we guideline this and open for contributors, someone can do it easily because it's public information. You don't need to access as an admin.
Yeah,
I think we could add it on the audit. Yeah, go ahead, Ivy.
I think the data that Edu wants to see shouldn't be part of the audit report, but it should be presented. I mean, we should present this data in another report, like what we're doing with Twitter analytics. We present the analytics in the comms call, but we shouldn't wait for the audit report to present the data. Do you get what I mean? Like
I agree.
Yeah, we shouldn't. This data should be presented regularly, and then as part of our transparency audit, we should make sure that this data are being presented to the community regularly. This data shouldn't, the audit shouldn't be about presenting the data, but presented
We
if
lost you, Ivy.
we are communicating this in.
We are losing you, Ivy.
We couldn't hear the second part. Yeah, now yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
that's something I wanted to chat with you, Ivy. Like I think we instead like we see the audit like okay, let's see what the community is doing, and I feel like it's better if like normally when you are paying like your stuff on, I don't know, gestoría en inglés.
Yeah. When you're paying a management company or auditors.
Yeah, like people is helping you to be transparent, let's say, and I think our duty should be like help the community to be transparent, and yeah, just give a hand, not monitor them, but give a hand. And I think sharing all these things, we could, that's the way you facilitate them. And I strongly feel this could be on the audit, because, and if you think this should be more regularly, we could even do the audit more regularly. But I think like if Edu have this information every 2 months, I don't think it's a big deal. Would be?
It depends. Here comes the context. Like if we are talking about just before the commons upgrade, and after the commons upgrade, I will need that information right before and right after, and a few weeks after, to sort of see what things can be improved on the go, on the moment. Because if we wait 3 months until getting this report, at least for Discord, then we will lose the time into a judgment, and the people who came into the server would get lost because we didn't adjust at the right time. So I think that transparency is important, but it's also important accessibility. Like you need to have accessibility to the things. So for me, transparency working group, not only those audits, but the information should be, kind of blueprinted. And like if you do an audit of Discord, it would be easy if you just, for example, you and I would do it once and you establish the template for that audit, and then you can lead that to contributors later on to just plug in the data or to get the data and just share it with communitas or share it with whoever you want to share with. So yeah.
My point about the audit, Zepti, is like because if we include all this data in our report, it's gonna be a very long report. You know what I mean? So I think we can just like put the link to the document where this data are stored. Like if we have this information presented somewhere in our audit report, we can just put that link there and not discuss all this data. Like you can see we are like we can say something like you can check the Discord analytics in this link, and it's being presented to the community transparently, something like that, but not include every piece of data in the audit report.
I agree. Can I pass to the next part before we finish the call, because it's really simple?
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
There are two things. Which is more priority? I will go with this one. This is the update for proposal and snapshot. I don't know if you are seeing my screen. I hope you are.
Yeah.
So we are trying to do an update on a template for the snapshot proposal, so we can sort of use it for further. This is a sort of an upgrade from the proposal framework that we had on forum. So I just wanted to share visualize this with you so you can, the link is on Softcov Discord channel. So if you can, as transparency, provide support or add or change or modify anything from this, it will be nice. So you have a look at it. That's on one side. And then what I really want to talk about is this, which is with Gideon did, is Discord server newcomer audit. He did it by himself, and it's basically his point of view from his POV from a newcomer and the things that he feel could be improved. We're not gonna go through all of this stuff because it's a little bit too much, but also to you to take a look at it. And if you want to provide feedback as transparency, that would be nice, because we will talking about this later on today at 8 p.m. in the call of Communitas. So if we could have any kind of feedback or just to go like, oh, this sounds good, that could be nice from transparency. We are right now, the main things that we talk about, it's the common stack logo with the TC praise that's already been worked out. Defining what could be the onboarding process, if we optimize for frequent user or if we optimize for newcomers. And then he suggested some changes on the submenus, and to have about TEC kind of channel, which is just a fixed channel with information that is not pinned, because we are pinning messages on most of the channels, but those messages never get seen unless you click and you know what is the pin message. So it's it's weird. And then the other things is like, for example, he suggested this help info, help channel, which is fine. And then the nice part that I really liked is the concept of a community wide, whatever we want to change the name or call it differently, which is all these things, announcements, DC voting ideas, cafe mem, praise, and group playlist goes into the community kind of group. So yeah, that's all I wanted to just, I don't want to take too much time. So if you want to take a look at it and async, provide feedback, it will be nice.
Yeah, I can try to read it before Communitas call. It seems like it's like 2 documents. Could you share them though on transparency so I have an easier look, or DM
I
me
already
with
did.
them?
I already did it.
Okay. Both of them are there.
No, the proposal for a snapshot, it's on Softcov.
Oh yeah,
it's the last on Softcov.
This one. Can you just DM me with that? Because Softcov, maybe they chat a lot. Let me see.
No, it's the last one. It's the last link on Softcov, literally.
Okay. Okay. Nice. I got it. Okay, I'll read both documents. I'll share what I see, and if normally it's hard to me to, because like improving wording and stuff, like that's not my thing. I'm very bad at wording. But if I see something like processes or stuff like that could be better, like I can share.
Yeah, the feedback, it's about if you think the information that it's required to be transparent on this when someone proposes is here, or do you think we are missing something? It's not about the phrasing or the word.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I can look into that. And I'll also compare with the advice process we have and see if something, if something's missing from that part or... Yeah.
Perfect.
And I mean, yeah, we are almost finishing with this call. We couldn't talk about much, but I think in these 4 minutes, it would be very beneficial for us if we could do a round. Like, for example, we want to improve the audit, and and we want to do we want to do one big audit and not too many small audits to every working group. So, and in one of the things that me and Ivy are discussing, and we are not reaching an agreement right now for the moment, is like, for example, like there will be information on the blockchain, like all the movement, like all the addresses that are interacting with our token are doing, and we have some discrepancies. Like, we think we should show this data and report it. So the pros would be like, it's good for the, especially for the hatches, like how the hatches are behaving, and it could help like common stack for future commons. And then, but at the same time, like it could be going inside private life of people, like let them do whatever they want with their tokens. And it's okay, like they can do whatever they want, but it's like Yeah, we are just reporting them, and we're not putting names because we don't know names. We're just putting addresses just to make it clear. But yeah, it's going into the private life of people, and yeah, I would like to get a quick round on what do you guys think? Like, it's beneficial, like give this data to and make it easier to reach. The data is going to be there anywhere, but anyway, but the thing is, like, should we make it easy to people to reach this data or not? And let's make a round. I'll pass it to you, Edu.
Yeah, I think the only data that is relevant is the data that is used for governance, or the data that is used for governance. Like, if I sell, like, I could get a nice general statistics of how much was sold and how much was buy, but going to a micro view of group of people doing things, or I think it's a little bit too invasive and non-relevant. Like, I will only care about how's the governance for the token for governance being used, and a general view about how many tokens has been sold or sell or bought or whatever. But the rest of the scope, I don't think it's necessary, because it's going into people's private decisions to do. Sorry, and this is not on our. This yeah, that's not private. That's not transparency. That's invasion of privacy.
I mean, the information
pass
is
it
there. Anyone can grab it. But yeah,
pass it to.
yeah, I really think we could benefit from that, especially like Common Stack. It's very beneficial for Common Stack. See how, especially hatchers behave, because
It doesn't mean it has to be public. That's a different thing. Like, you can do that, but doesn't not necessarily make it public. Because when you do a market analysis, which is basically what you are doing, you share it with stakeholders and people who are part of the organization. You don't share it with people you are selling your soap or your beer, because
yeah,
they will feel manipulated and so on. So it's a dangerous.
yeah, I see. But we all are stakeholders, right? Everyone in the community.
If you're talking about common stack, it's different. That's a gray line, for me. Anyways,
Yeah, I see. I see. Yeah, what do you think, Ama?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I don't really understand why Eduardo used the word invasion of privacy and stuff like that, because it's anyway public data, and even though we are collecting it, nobody knows who's selling or who's buying. And I think, I don't know, TC token holders, everybody will might like it. My suggestion is not to display it in our forums or places like that, or maybe we can maybe make it into an API and integrate it with to the dashboard. We could do how the token analytics and stuff like that there. The people who want it can go to the dashboard and have a look at it from there. Yeah, that's my side. But I don't understand Eduardo's arguments, like where that is coming from. Maybe if you could explain that to me, and that would be great.
yeah, for sure, I can explain to you, AC.
Yeah, and maybe I will go last and we can wrap it up because it's already top of the hour.
Yeah, I just gonna quickly say that I'm on Eduardo's side actually in this discussion, because I feel like yes, these addresses and their activities are available publicly in the blockchain, but reporting them intentionally to the whole community, like telling the community or telling the public that this is what these addresses are doing, is just it's not relevant. I mean, what I think what Eduardo suggested, that it can be done. I mean, if the point is to help the common stack or the TEC understand the behavior of these addresses, it can be done privately without making the information like like saying that this address is buying a lot, this address is selling a lot, because it's too personal for me.
Yeah, I see. But the thing is, like, this is going to get done because there are people that it's interested on that getting done, so it's going to get it done. The thing is, like, are we going to be transparent with what we're doing or not? Like, yeah.
What do you mean it's gonna get done?
Like it's information like people want, so it's going to get, like, and it's available on the blockchain. Like, it's not like
Yes, but is it the same as I go to the street and I see someone picking up his or her nose and she's doing it publicly? What is different is me going to the person saying, "Hey, you are doing this," and I took a photo of you while you are doing it. Can I make an exposition out of it? It's a
Yeah.
completely different thing. Even if it's public, it doesn't mean people should. It is public. That's transparent by itself. The fact that it's public, but we like. The question is this information relevant for the community, or is this information relevant for Common Stack or a working group specifically that needs to know this information? That's a different conversation, I feel.
And
I mean,
just quickly, I just want to quickly add that I also have. I mean, we trust some people in the. We trust these people in our community, but you know that we have this document. You know, Edward, that we have these documents, Hatcher's document, and their wallet address. I mean, a few people have access to this wallet addresses and the names who own these wallet addresses. And yeah, I know it's a big responsibility to have not this information to keep to safeguard this information. But yeah, I mean, if someone gets access to this document and we make this addresses public, they can just look up into that document and see who owns these addresses. And that's one thing I'm trying to avoid to happen.
yeah, but you can't avoid it, because if people get these addresses, they just go and like they just go on Blog Scout.
Yes, but there is a difference in between how like
And put the address here.
yeah, you can find the addresses, but then if people are aware that you as a whale, for example, you as a whale have this amount of tokens, and then we link what do you do with that amount of tokens, and then we make it public for some reason, you expose yourself to things, and it sounds silly, but it's like privacy matters, and
Yeah. But it's not going to say it's safety. It's going to say a bunch of random numbers.
Yeah, but then we have a database in our servers that has these random numbers linked to an identity, and we should not play with that.
It's a kind of a risk that we're gonna take if we do that. I mean, yeah, that's one thing I'm trying to avoid. I mean, it will, yeah, it will not happen, but there's a possibility that it can happen. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it only the members of the trusted seed who has their wallet mapped to their identity, or
Yeah. No, it's not available for the public. It's the trusted seed gardeners have access to it.
Because when he talked about this, I thought it would be like Etherscan or something like that. Just shows the transactions and what these are. I thought it like that, but the way Eduardo framed it, if it becomes like that, then it is a problem. But
yeah. Okay, we're almost 6 minutes past. I know you guys have other meetings and stuff to do. Yeah, we can just wrap it up here, and we actually can. If both of you, like me and Ivy, are going to have a work session on the audit, it's on our calendar. But if any of you want to join, like, it's going to be from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. This Wednesday CET. If any of you is interested on this topic, and yeah, we're going to continue. And yeah, not only on this topic, but we really need to move. Like, there is many points we need to get done. And yeah, like, if for any chance, like, you keep interested in this topic, just join us there. Okay, thank you so much, guys.
Thanks, thanks everyone. Thanks, Eduardo.
Thank you.
I guess.
Bye bye.